G'day, Aaron Shiner here. Another video in the Proagent video series. I'm really excited about today's video because we're going to be sharing some really good strategies on closing the gap from where you are to where you want to be. But here's the thing, watching the video isn't enough. After the video, download the course notes and start implementing. Let's get started, guys. A lot of agents come up to me after an event or after a training workshop and they say, Aaron, but it's easy for you. It's easy for you to list, 10, 15, 20, 30 properties a month because you've got a big database. What about me? I've only just started. I've only been in the industry for 6 months, 12 months, and I don't have many contacts. Well, here's the good news, guys. I'm gonna share with you the blueprint, the exact formula that I would use if I was starting in your area today from a cold office. I'm gonna share with you the strategy on how I would go from 0 to 1,000 contacts in 90 days. Let's get started. Okay, let's look at how we would go from 0 to 1,000 contacts in 90 days. And for me, the first place I would start if I was starting in a new office today, I would want to get a record, a list, a history of all the past purchases that have bought from the office. Only 3% of the real estate industry are currently staying in contact with their past anniversaries, which really means there's a tremendous gap and a tremendous opportunity to be the agent that you can forge a relationship with those people, so when they actually are thinking about selling, you've stayed in contact, you've wished them happy anniversary, you've sent them anniversary cards, and you're top of mind. An old mentor told me this many years ago, and he said this, Aaron, the definition of ethics is doing the right thing when nobody else is watching. And I think that's also true in real estate, because all of a sudden, an agent finds a potential seller, they're looking to sell in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, all of a sudden, that agent's interest in that person magnifies and attracts. Sellers can see straight through that. They can see that you're only contacting them because they have a property to sell. So for me, I like to do the right thing from the start. Wish them anniversary, keep them updated on the marketplace, and just be there for their general real estate questions, because when time comes, you will be the person that has been putting those deposits in that emotional bank account. So when it comes time to withdraw, AKA sell, there's something to withdraw on. So the next place that I would look if I was building my contacts from 0 to 1,000 in 90 days is very, very simple. I'd want to get in contact with all the past appraisals done by previous salespeople. Now that may mean going through the old database, that may mean going through the old diaries, however you're going to do it, okay? It might be a little bit Raiders of the Lost Ark, blowing some dust off some archives, but once you've got those records, once you've got that history, then what I would do is go and compare that information with RP data or Price Finder, making sure that person or those people still live there. Match those records. Mr. Smith is the person we did the appraisal for. Mr. Smith is still the person that lives there. Then I would get in contact with Mr. or Mrs. Smith, give them an update on the market, let them know that I'm now handling their file, and then let them know that the market has changed dramatically since their last update. Let them know that I'm in the area in the next couple of days and I can pop over and have a quick chat and give them an opinion on price. So for me, in summary, working with the office's past appraisals is key. Closing point on this. It's 3 times more cost effective to work with an existing client than it is to go out and create a new client. So find and locate all those past appraisals, make a prospecting and marketing plan on how you're going to stay in contact with them. Would you believe it when I say there's listings sitting under your nose right now, okay? And you're probably thinking, what do you mean? I simply mean this. There's a treasure trove of withdrawn listings, people that had their properties on the market and took them off. Let's face it, the market has dramatically changed from where we are now to even 6 to 12 months ago. So in our office, we have a policy. If a property went on the market, then come off, I would then, if it was my property, I would then pass it to one of my other salespeople, and if he or she successfully listed it, they would pay me a referral fee, vice versa. If they had a property on the market 6 or 12 months ago and were unsuccessful, they would then pass it on to me, and if I sold it, I would give them a 20% referral fee. And the conversation may go like this. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor. My name is Aaron Shiner from First National Real Estate. I am now looking after your file. I noticed your property was on the market 6 or 12 months ago. Can I just say this? The market has changed, the market has increased, or whatever it's happened in your marketplace. you know, I can't do it today, but would you like me to pop over in a day or two and give you an update? Let's face it, if somebody's gone through the effort to get professional photos, to sign an agency agreement and allow an open house, you know they're motivated at some level. And for me, you know, people's motivations change and change direction on a daily basis. Now, 6 months ago, 12 months ago, they may not have been completely ready to get across the line in a sale. They were motivated enough to go to the market. 6 months is a long time, 12 months is a long time. Get in contact with those withdrawn sales, let them know how the market's going, and also have somebody else handle the files. Let's get on to the next one. So now what I want to look at is current landlords. Clients that we're already currently managing, okay? I really want to make sure we give these guys first-class service. And when I ask people, what are you sending your landlords right now? When I'm doing consulting in offices, I ask, what are you sending your landlords right now? Besides the monthly statement and maybe some requests for repairs, the answer is typically not much. So for me, let's have a look at how we can really give some first-class service to our current landlords. What would that look like? Well, for me, it's simply about delivering a newsletter once every 3 months about the marketplace wrap. Let them know about what's happening in the marketplace. Every 6 months, let them know about the CMA. Deliver a CMA with all the recent sales in the area. Let them know how it's performing. Let's face it, if we have shares in a portfolio, our stockbroker rings us up, our stockbroker sends us information and lets us know how well our portfolio is doing. It's exactly the same as how we want to treat our landlords. We want to keep them updated. And let's face it, people buy investment properties for one goal, and that is to obtain financial freedom, okay? So let's say we set a record in the area. Let's just say we set a record around the corner. Your landlords should know, because I have a lot of dialogue with landlords because it is a very non-emotional transaction. They say, Aaron, if you could repeat that result, yes, I would sell, okay? Chances are I'm gonna list that property and sell it back to another landlord. So for me, it's about making sure all our landlords have got the current and correct information so they can make informed decisions. All right, guys, we're on the home straight. Now what we're gonna look at is dominating your farm area, your business development area, your precinct, whatever you wanna call it. Most agents say to me, yes, Aaron, I have a farm area. And I say, that's great. How big is it? How many homes? Typically they can't answer me. And then I also say, well, tell me, how many times a year are you contacting those people? On average, it would be lucky to be 3 to 4 times a year. Can I say this? The size of the farm area doesn't really matter. What really matters is this: how many times a year we communicate with those people. Our strategy is to communicate 24 times over a 12-month period. Every 2 weeks, we want to be sending something, okay? Now that's something of value. The days of free appraisal are long gone. We want to make sure we've got some give to get marketing, something of value. Let that be a free book offer. Let that be a CMA report. Let that even be just listed or just sold notifications. But it's got to be something of value to your customer or to your potential or future customer. Otherwise, it's going to end up in the trash like everybody else's. It's got to have that second look and that wow factor. But again, put a prospecting plan in place on how you're going to stay in contact with your farm area 24 times a year over a 12-month period. Oh, one last thing on this topic, okay? The ideal farm area size is typically anywhere between 1,500 homes to 2,000 homes. Really easy to cover, really easy to manage. Okay, we're on to the last two, and I can say this: these really shouldn't be attempted unless the first 5 are already in place. The first one is this: I call it the 7-year itch. On average, throughout an area, the average time somebody stays in a property is 7 years. So what we like to do through RP data is locate and find anybody who had an anniversary in the last week 7 years ago. So stay with me. So they've had an anniversary, their 7-year anniversary in the past 7 days. What I then want to do is group them all up, and I want to send them all an anniversary letter. And the anniversary letter is very, very simple. It just says, hey, I realize it's been 7 years since you bought and moved into the property. Just wanted to wish you a happy anniversary. Can I also say the market has changed dramatically over the 7 years that you bought the property. I'm going to be in your area. Maybe you'd like to give me a call or contact me, and I'll let you know about what the market's doing. Okay, so that's part one. Part two, a couple of days later, you would follow it up with an anniversary call. Here's what I've found after doing this for so many years. once you ring up and make that anniversary call, once you send out that anniversary letter, only 3% of the industry are staying in contact with their past anniversaries. They automatically assume that, hey, if you're sending me an anniversary letter, you must be the person who sold me the house. Now, I'm not that person and I don't claim to be, I'm just wishing them happy anniversary. It's a really good point of difference than opposed to the old typical prospecting methods of, hey, I have a buyer, do you want to sell your house? It's a great lead in. Locate and isolate those 7-year rich people, send them an anniversary letter, follow them up with an anniversary call. So there we have it. We've completed 0 to 1,000 contacts in 90 days. Here's a question for you. Which one are you going to implement first? And more importantly, how are you going to get started? Watching the video is one thing, implementing this stuff is the next, because that's going to be the difference that really helps you close the gap from where you are to where you want to be. Remember, the course notes are directly below this video, so go and download them now, print them out and stick them near your desk. I've really enjoyed making this video for you. Keep an eye out for the next video in the Proagent series coming soon. Take care, Aaron Shiner here, List and Sell, bye for now.